right, and welcome back. In this episode, we're going to be doing the Revelwood Shroud Roots. So we'll go over these in just a moment. In the previous episode, we did Springlands, around the Springlands Ancient Spire, and the ones that were west of the Low Meadows. Now, I know I'm going to get questions because these are part of Springlands. There's a elixir well here and a Shroud Root here. I normally don't do these until after I go or start heading to the Nomad area, because I build a mountain base up here above the Pillars of Creation. I'm a little bit higher level. I get better gear by this time. There's a gold chest inside the mountain, and I just feel better, and I glide down from the mountain base and I take care of these. But you can certainly go from Low Meadows, go down and do this Shroud Root, and then you can also head over here and do this elixir well. And the motivation behind doing that is that there is a Night Sanctum over by this one, and there is a gem forge as you're going to this one. So it's totally up to you on what you want to do. I'll cover these down when we get to the Nomad Shroud Roots. But in this episode, we're focused on Revelwood, and there are 8. This one right here is part of Veilwater. We're not talking about that one. I want to check here. This one's also Veilwater. We're not going to talk about that one. So usually when I'm coming up to Revelwood, I'm going and doing the quest at the Alchemist Tower for the Modar, and I will go do Revelwood, get the Revelwood Ancient Spire, and then from there the first Shroud Root and Elixir Well that I do in the Revelwood Biome is this one right here. So from the Revelwood Ancient Spire, we're almost 700 meters away that direction, so I'm going to go ahead and start gliding there, and I'll see you there. Right, we're almost to the Elixir Well. I'm on Ghost Glider, of course, and we just drop down and we take care of this well. Let's just get down to the bottom here and go around this way. Just gonna try to bypass these mobs. There we go. Now, you know, if you feel comfortable, you just glide right on in. There is, what's the mob here? They start to get a little more interesting when you get down here, but pretty easy one to do. I thought there was a warrior in here, but no, that was it. So that is this elixir well right here, southeast of the Revelwood Ancient Spire. The second one I do is the Shroud Root that's right here, and I will see you out in front, and let's take out that one. All right, we're out in front of the cave that we're going to enter. Here is the Shroud Root we're going to do. Revelwood. Just glide down in this area here, and on this cliffside, you'll find the opening. You've got your luminescent rock there, and I think you can run all the way up from the shroud down below, but here we go, and you just head on in. Got some pretty simple things to deal with. I believe just some piggies that might give you some trouble, but we're just gonna head on in. And go around the corner, and there it is. Let's just go ahead and glide in. And here we go. Couple of annoying bugs and small mobs. No mini bosses in here. I usually just will glide in from the side like I did, and that takes care of number 2. Shroud Root number 3 is tucked into this cave. Here is the Revelwood Ancient Spire. I've showcased this cave a few times in the Wake of the Water. When it first came out, it actually had iron in it and some Nomad and Kindleway stuff, and then they patched and took that out, unfortunately. But if you come running in here, got a lot of bugs to deal with, your typical fell mods, and yeah, here is number 3. Take out the root, and if you want, there is a gold chest right over here. All right, we're back to the Revelwood Ancient Spire. We're looking out to the east. Now, typically when you're coming here, you're going to go do the saw blade, which is above my head right over there. So you're going to be doing some questing and farming and hunting throughout this area here. But from the tower where the saw blade is, after killing the mini boss in there, I usually glide across, following the top of my head, across the shroud, and I do Pike's Mead and the pike. Now let's look at the map. So basically, again, we're looking off to the east, and if we go down, we've got White Wind, we've got Thornburg, and we've got Fong Song, where the blade is. So I'll jump across and go do the 2 shrouds that are here inside Pike's Mead, and then I will come over and do the elixir well, or depending on how I feel, I might go do the elixir well first as number 4, and then later pick up Pike's Mead, depending on how comfortable I'm feeling with my gear and weapons and so on. So it's totally up to you. You can do 4, 5, and 6 in any order you want, but we can see the elixir well right above my head here, and we're just going to drop down and check that out. We're going to head over here to the north and drop on in and get down to the bottom of this. So let me see here. Just going to go down here and then straight down. This guy here, so I can start talking. All right, you're looking for a reddish glow. There it is right there. Ghost glider, run all the way around and do everything. What we're gonna do is just glide in. There is the mini boss. And of course, I'm strong enough to one-shot it. Take care of everything else. There's 2 mini bosses in here. That's right. Have some fun with that. I certainly wouldn't fly in the middle of that action at a lower level or gear. I would come in from around. There's an entrance. Where is it? Let's take out the shroud so we can see. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, you're going all the way around, taking care of mobs, gathering some great resources, coming down in here, and then take on bosses one at a time. All right, unless you're feeling really comfortable. All right, now we're ready for 5 and 6, and we're out in front of Pike's Mead. Let's go to the map, zoom in. So we're going to do this one, and then we're going to jump over the roofs and do this one right here. So let's get started. Oh, by the way, if you don't know where Pike's Mead is, essentially there is Revelwood. We're doing the saw blade, we're running around, and we're picking up Pike's Mead, the pike, and getting the head and strengthening our flame, getting ready for Nomad. So I just head on in. Take the grate on the right, climb this one. Let's get some height so we can do some roof jumping here. Something like that's good enough. We're going to jump over to this one. And then there's the first Shroud Root right down here, and a little mini boss to contend with. So you're probably not gonna just go jumping in here willy-nilly. You're gonna come in, kill them from the roof with range, or from the side, and deal with them that way. Right, gold chest right there, and then I just head on back up, get back up on the roofs, and get over to the next one. So the next one, zoom on in, we just did this one, is right over here, just north of the shanty really? Jump across. Shacks. Let's go ahead and mark it. There we go, we got a waypoint. You can see it's not very far away. So there's your flame sanctum. That's where you're gonna pick up your kettle, all that fun stuff. But there is the next Shroud Root. And again, there's some characters in here to take care of. Let's see if we can do this before we get bombed. There we go. And just some mobs. This one's a little bit easier to deal with than the other one. There you are. You're a little slow today, aren't you? Yeah. All right, we are back at Revelwood Ancient Spire, and number 7 I do is right next to the Pillars of Creation, and number 8 I do is on the way to Blackmire. So here's the passage to Blackmire. It's totally up to you. Often I will do Nomad because I want to get the Ghost Glider as soon as possible. And then once I have the Ghost Glider, I'll start heading to Blackmire Ancient Spire, but it depends on what your strategy is and what you're doing. We are going to do the one that's right here next to the Pillars of Creation. The gate is somewhere in here that you're heading to once you get the pike boss head and strengthen your flame so it's no longer deadly shroud. So what I am going to do is head over to this elixir well, and I'll see you there. So behind me is the gate to the Pillars of Creation right here, and you're basically running up this road to get to it. I will probably do that before I head over here and do this elixir well. But there's the elixir well. We're just going to jump over and glide down to it, land right on this, and there we go. We're at the next one, number 7 for me, but the next one for you. And so we're sitting right here. There is Revelwood Ancient Spire, and yeah, we're just gonna drop on in and do our thing. So we've come on down to the ground, and we're gonna head on in, and you can see the Shroud Root right there. You feel like trying to climb that, go for it. Otherwise, you're gonna run around, and we're gonna go in here, and we can't cross here, can't get up. Let's see, go up here, jump up here, land on the right thing. There we go, jump up here. We'll walk all the way around, totally up to you. Let me just run by all of this stuff here, run around here, run around here, and there it is. So, there's an interesting mob that's in there. Let's see, I still have some more to go around. Here we go. A little bit of a traverse. I have Ghost Glider and Updraft, but I don't want to quite show that off to get across. But a little bridge area right here. And there's our mini boss to take out. And take him out, you're going to get some giant critter scales. And yeah, come out here and pick up the Shroud Root. All right, that's the 7th one down. We're going to head back to the Revelwood Ancient Spire and get ready for the 8th one in this area. All right, we're back to Revelwood Ancient Spire, and our next one, the last one I consider to be part of this, is over, above, and across, as if you were headed to Glenwood's End for all the fun events that take place there. Now, I build a northern west mountain base so that I can do things like the elixir well and other resource farming around this area as I'm leveling. And then eventually I build the Blackmire, my main base, and then I relocate my first base up there. What we're going to do is get out in front of the Shroud Root. So there's lots of routes you can take. You can do the quest for the spinning wheel, see here, for the hunter, and then you can come out over the top. I have videos that show how to traverse this area, but I'm going to get out in front of this cave here for this next Shroud Root. See you there. All right, we're down in the Shroud, just outside the cave, sitting right here. And then we're going to head on in and do this. There is a flame shrine right here for Spark. Pretty nice one. There's lots of amber down over here. So I've shown this in previous videos as well, but that's not what we're here for. We're going to go ahead and head on in. I'm going to bypass as much as I can. Glide right on down. And here we go. Number 8. Take this out as quickly as we can. And then there is, let me get over on the side here. There is a boss right down, I think it's right down there. Let's see here. Right down here. So it's up to you whether you want to do this. It's another one of these for scales. Lots of critters to take care of. Pick up some more giant critter scales. There's a gold chest right up here. Some other mobs that are going to bother you. We'll climb up here. And there we go. So that is number 8. And the last one that I do in Revelwood. The next episode, we're going to do Blackmire. Yeah, I think we're going to go up and do Blackmire instead of Nomad. I already have the Ghost Glider, but if I need a Ghost Glider, I like to get it before I get to Blackmire because there's lots of gliding that takes place in here, and it just makes life a lot easier. But we'll do Blackmire next. We're certainly not going to talk about Bellwater until the last episode. But yeah, there's just a couple to do here. And I will see you then. And until then, happy gaming!